I love these things. They're so easy. You don't even have to cut them. Whew. Anyways, hey everybody, happy Sunday to you. Thanks for tuning in to my weekly top 5 cigar picks. Thanks to all of you who tune in regularly. And again, if you're new and you're just stopping by, don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you want to see more, post your comments, questions, all of those things. I did get a lot of good comments and a few questions on my last top 5 where we were, kind of talking about coffee, and a lot of you shared some great comments on a few of you that had already ordered, that you were trying it, drinking it as you're watching the video. So thank you for that. But also a few of you shared your different brew methods and, the type of coffee that you like to drink. There was a question about if I'm going to be selling K-cups, and I did answer that, but I'll answer it here. I will not be selling K-cups. I don't... Again, no judgments. That's perfectly fine if you do Keurig coffee and all that. I used to do it myself. It's a time saver, all that stuff. But for the sake of the fact that I have my coffee roasted fresh, I will not be providing that type of option just because it's not fresh. You'd have to get them manufactured. That coffee that's then in that K-cup is super old, and that's not kind of like the path that I'm taking. Again, no judgments. So what I did say to that person who asked me that question, and if you are a Keurig drinker yourself, you can go, I'm sure most of you are aware, you can go actually buy the little reusable like filter type of things for your Keurig machine, and you can add your own coffee. So that would be my advice if you are a Keurig person. And again, if you are, venture outside of that, and on the weekends or on your days off when you have time, invest in, they're not expensive at all, a little French press, even a quick little pour over type of a thing. I will, as I mentioned, be doing some videos and posting those. I'll probably post them on this channel, even though it is a good idea to do the separate coffee channel. Somebody mentioned that. I just don't know that that I have the patience to start from scratch again, if that makes sense. So I'll probably kind of put some of those videos on my Cigar Vixen platform, just because I already have the viewership there. And yeah, so I will be doing some videos on how to do a French press, or how I do a French press, pour overs, temperatures, all those things in the very near future. So bear with me, be patient with me. I have a lot of little things going on, which brings me to my next announcement. The 2020 calendar, Cigar Vixen calendars, are finally ready. They were a little bit later than normal this year, but again, we're still in 2019. So hey, it works out well for all of us. But again, thank you so much for all of you who continue to support by getting your calendars every year. I have some of you, and I do have your names, that have bought one of my calendars every year since I started doing them. This is the 4th edition, if you will, the 4th year that I have the calendar coming out. So I will also be doing a special little thank you for those of you who, again, have purchased that calendar since the first time I started doing it, so 4 years ago. And there's a lot of comments from people that are saying, hey, I still have, your 2017 calendar hanging up, and I like the pictures and all of those things. So again, I do appreciate the support. I wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be able to do some of the things that I do without your guys' support and your comments and your constant viewership and all of those things. So thank you so much for that. Really means the world to me. And yeah, I'm gonna be getting into, close to the holiday season. We're starting to get, that time of year. Leaves are changing colors for those of you in different parts of the world, not in Southern California, where we pretty much have, hot and not as hot as our different climate zones. For those of you who are that get to experience all those different seasons, we're really getting into that time. So I'm going to start incorporating some shorter, quicker smokes here and there into the lineup, because again, if you are somebody who is in the major snow or freezing cold, you definitely are not sitting outside, I would imagine, and smoking like a huge Churchill size of a cigar. But so yeah, so that brings me actually to my number 5 stick. This one I actually had on the lineup not too long ago. I kind of mentioned that I was really surprised that I liked it because it is a machine-made cigar. So, I'm sure that's kind of like one of those shocking little things where I can't believe you're, a cigar person and you're smoking a machine-made cigar. But yeah, I am, and I like it actually. So this is the Villiger Export. This is the Maduro. Now it comes in a Brazilian, and it comes in, there's a third, oh my goodness, drawing a blank. Anyways, the Maduro is the one that I tend to lean towards, but I love it. They're quick little smokes. They're very inexpensive. They do not have to go into your humidor. So if you, again, I wouldn't necessarily leave them in like your car if it's super hot or super cold outside. If it's just kind of like, if you happen to be like a San Diego person and it's like the mid 70s climate, you're fine. Other than that, you might want to just bring them inside even. But that being said, you know, if you're, for the ladies watching, you can throw them in your purse. They don't, again, they don't need to be in a humidor, which is kind of cool. They are machine made sticks, but they're really tasty. And again, for the price point and the flavor offered, to me, this is a great cigar to have a quick little coffee break with. Again, this is going to be like your 25-minute, 30-minute tops, you know, quick little smoke, and it's really tasty. So you get the semi-sweet earth, you get a little bit of kind of like a light cinnamon and a hint of nuttiness for the notation in the cigar. And today I'm pairing it with my Jefe blend. I actually did an Americano, so I brewed that espresso, you know, anyways, you guys know how to do that, the Americano style. But I'm using the Jefe blend that I have on my Tasa's website. Again, gotta do the shameless plug. If you haven't tried my coffee, please do. Thank you to those of you who have already. Yeah, definitely visit, you know, Tasa's Coffee by Delicia. It is a specialty coffee. It is freshly roasted. It's all of those things. There's not a huge selection, and that's on purpose. I don't want to go, I'm not like, you know, a Costco type of a thing. It's a very selective, and it's kind of more for a selective group of, you know, people that enjoy a little bit higher end things. Anyways, so I'm pairing mine today with that Jefe blend as an Americano, and it goes very nicely again with this Villiger Export Maduro. And I'm rambling, I'm sorry, I have a lot of energy. This is like my second one, so energetic. Moving on to number 4, we have a newer cigar. I actually just received some of these and I was really excited. I have the CAO, the Orellana, which is the 4th in the Amazonian series. So for those of you who have been fans of the CAO Amazon, the Basin was the first one, and then they've had, you know, a few others since then. I like them. I think they're fun. I happen to know Rick Rodriguez very well. He's a great guy. He puts a lot of heart in the blending and in the whole story and everything that is involved in this, in the CAO line. And he's very creative. And again, just somebody that legitimately smokes cigars and really likes them. And again, puts a lot into creating these blends and searching for this tobacco and all of these things. So this one, again, being the 4th, it is a limited edition. But it's named after Francisco de Orellana, who was the first, said to be the first European explorer to navigate the entire Amazon River. So very cool. I've never been there myself. It's on the bucket list for sure. But I am kind of, I'm like not a huge fan of different rare bugs and stuff like that. So I don't know how well I would do, but it still would be beautiful to see, I imagine. So it's featuring a sun-grown Cubra wrapper that's from that same Bahia region of Brazil, and it has a Nicaraguan binder, and the filler consists of Amazonian, Bragança, Colombian, and Dominican tobacco. Fuller-bodied pepper spice, molasses, kind of like a dried fig, a little bit of leather, and a nice little toasted nut. It is a fuller-bodied. It is, again, I would put it with coffee. I would definitely do that one if you're in the mood, because it's a fuller body. If you're like a straight espresso drinker, that would be a really nice matchup. Or, you know, again, you can brew it with a number of different types of coffees. But that would be, again, it's a little bit fuller stick, so really, really nice. But again, a huge fan of that particular series of the Amazon, so lots of fun there. Number 3 is not super old, but not incredibly new. It's the LFD La Volcada. So beautiful band, beautiful imagery. Love the whole story. LFD is cool, you know, like aside from having really cool people. So If you've been to any cigar event, you would definitely see him. Tony Gomez is like the tallest cigar person. Him and Omar Fratello, I think they're tied with height-wise. But I remember they were standing next to each other one time. I can't remember who was taller. Anyways, Tony is huge. He's a son of Lito Gomez. Lito's quite the class act. I mean, really, really classy, fun, likes to dance, has a lot of, culture, a lot of history. He has some Spanish roots that, again, if you've had a chance to visit the Dominican Republic and you've probably signed up for the tour of their factory, it's incredible. It's so beautiful. I mean, there's just so much. And if you have a chance to go during Pro Cigar, they really do the whole thing. I mean, you do the lunch there. The times that I've gone, they've had a few different things, but one of the times I went, they did like a roasted pig. They had flamenco musicians come and perform, and then Lito actually danced. It was really cool. But anyways, their whole team is great. John Carney, he's awesome. He's I don't even know his actual title. He's like VP or I don't know. He's a cool guy, and anytime I see him, he always hooks me up with smoke. So thank you so much. But aside from that, he's just fun to be around. But they have a great team. And aside from that, they make great cigars. So huge fan of LFD. And I think the majority of you guys are as well. But back to the cigar itself, La Volcada has a nice Mexican San Andres wrapper, Ecuadorian binder, Dominican filler. You get the nice notes of leather, raisin, caramel, cold brew coffee, cinnamon. It's nutty, it's creamy. It's very nice. Again, huge fan of the Mexican San Andres on pretty much any cigar. So Cigar Prop Kevin, if you happen to be watching, you're a cold brew coffee drinker, this would be a great cigar if you haven't figured that out, which I'm sure you have because you smoke a lot of cigars as well. This would be a great cigar to pair with a cold brew coffee. Just has that, I don't know, something about it. I did it recently because I was challenged to brew my coffees as cold brew. I'm not really a huge cold brew person, but I'm starting to get into it more. I did learn at this coffee thing that I went to a while back that cold brew actually has the most caffeine because you're not exposing the beans to heat, so it's not taking any of the caffeine out. It's actually like the most potent. And so if you are somebody that's in search of like, okay, I want the most caffeine and all of that, cold brew is the way to go. And again, it depends on like, is it super hot outside? Just different factors. I tend to lean towards what I always drank, which was, hot coffee kind of a thing. But again, getting more into cold brew. And back to what I was saying, I actually challenged myself to do the 3 coffees that I offer as a cold brew, and I found that the Ethiopian Yirgacheffe was like the best one for cold brew. The others, you could do it, but I just felt like out of the 3, the one that really had the most to offer, giving the most notes and having like just a good flavor and just, I don't know, just everything was the Yirgacheffe. So I did that one recently and it was great. So just in case you're a cold brew coffee person, say that fast 5 times. That's the way to go. And yeah, try that cigar with it. So moving on to number 2. Sorry if it's rude that I drink my coffee and talk at the same time. Number 2 is the Joya Cabinetta. So this cigar was actually blended for coffee, and basically not necessarily a specific kind of coffee, but it was blended with the intention of smoking it with your cup of coffee. And if that isn't just the most ingenious thing I've heard, I don't know what is. But Joya is great. Again, they're like an extension of like what I would consider great friends, family even. They have an incredible factory with a ton of history. They're the oldest coming out of Nicaragua. They make incredible sticks. They always have. They're not like a brand that continues to pump out like brand new cigars every 6 months, even every year. They have introduced a few newer cigars in the last couple years, again celebrating some big milestones. revamping a couple of their older lines. But again, the Cabinetta has been around for quite some time. In fact, the very first time I visited a coffee farm was in Nicaragua, and it was an incredible experience. And I actually had the Cabinetta with me and was doing some tastings, you know, with that cigar and the coffee. So it was a lot of fun. But again, if you have never had the Cabinetta, they make it in a Lancero. So that is one of the things that I love about it, is that it comes in my favorite Vitola, but it also comes in, you know, several others. But if you are a Lancero person, or you starting to get into that, because again, reading my comments, I see that there's a lot of you that are starting to do more of the Lancero Vitolas. The Cabinetta in the Lancero, incredible. So highly recommended with your, really like any cup of coffee. Again, going back to mine, because of course I'm going to plug my own, but I legitimately think it's like the best out there. But the day drinker would be phenomenal with the Cabinetta, especially if you're somebody that adds cream to your coffee and you did a little bit of half and half in there. It would just go so nice together. But the Cabinetta has two wrappers. Basically, there's a different one on the tip. So it has an Ecuadorian Connecticut shade wrapper, and then on the top part, it has the Nicaraguan Havana Criollo, again on the tip of the cigar, Nicaraguan binder filler. So it's creamy, light cedar, a very mild pepper, but more so just creamy and has a lot of nice flavor to it. Again, huge fan of that if you've never tried it. Which brings me to number one. The number one this week is a cigar that I actually haven't had on my lineup in a while. In fact, I haven't had any of their cigars on my lineup for a little bit. But I have the Micallef Experencia La Crema, and that one is just a great stick. That was one of their first cigars that I tried that I was like, oh yeah, this is great. I even have a couple, well, I have at least one of the Her First Smoke videos, and it's with that cigar. It's so good. It's a medium, it's a nice solid medium cigar, but if you're newer to smoking, it's not gonna be too much. But if you're an avid smoker, it's also not gonna be like too little for you, if that makes sense. So it's a really great stick. It is featuring a San Andres Sumatra wrapper, Ecuadorian Habano binder, Nicaraguan, Dominican, and Panamanian on the filler, all of which have been aged for 4 years minimum, and then rolled and then left to sit for an additional year minimum before they actually come to your hands, to smoke it. So it's been adequately aged. It's as I mentioned, a medium strength. It's definitely, again, it's a coffee lover's best friend cigar because it goes with like a bunch of different types of coffees. It's just a really nice stand-up cigar for a cup of coffee, for your standard cup of coffee. Not necessarily, I probably wouldn't put this with an espresso. It's a little bit too strong. The espresso is a little bit too strong for the cigar, but like any other type of just regular brewed coffee would be really, really nice with the La Crema. Sweet cream, light cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla, cedar, all of those things are gonna come in from that cigar. But again, really nice, easy to smoke, just a beautiful format and really a nice stick. So definitely a cigar worth trying, worth smoking, worth grabbing a few of them and stocking up on those. Well, thanks so much for tuning into my weekly top 5. I do have a couple different things going on. So one of which, introducing you guys, if you haven't heard, speaking of the Micallef cigars, if you've never heard of their ambassador program, really cool. It's a great opportunity for you to be a brand ambassador with all the perks and no cost to you and very little to no work, actually. I mean, I think they ask you to maybe post pictures if you want and tag them, stuff like that. But really, it's just like, it's a lot of fun. So their brand ambassador program, again, no cost to you. It's totally free to sign up. It's a quick sign up. You can click on the link provided in this video or even on some of my social media platforms, so Instagram, Facebook. But definitely click the link so that you can enter in and sign up. It's super easy, quick, and it's free, so yay. With the membership, you have like random things that come to you, so different surprises, different things that you might get in the mail. Can't tell you everything that they will give you, but it's good. It's definitely worthwhile. They have a lot of cool swag, including the Micallef Ambassador coin, which comes with your own little number on it. So definitely stuff that's post worthy for your Instagram, for your Facebook. You get first dibs on knowing like which cigars are coming out, and you also get exclusive invitations to some of these limited events. They even do, like, they just had an event in Texas, so for those ambassadors they did like I don't know how many giveaways, but they did some tickets that they gave away to those ambassadors. So it's stuff like that. So whether it's for Big Smoke or another event that they may be involved in, as an ambassador, you may be selected to just, here's a ticket, come attend the event type of a thing. You also get 25% off of your Micallef merchandise, so really cool. But again, it's just a really nice program, and I haven't seen anyone else that's doing anything like that. So hats off to them for, really just reaching out and engaging all of us, all of the consumers that are out there that smoke their cigars, or encouraging people to smoke their cigars. It's a really fun program, and again, no cost to you to sign up, completely free and a lot of fun. So definitely click the link and sign up, and I'd love to hear post your comments if you have signed up. In addition to that, for anyone who does sign up by clicking the link, you're going to be automatically entered if you would like. So I'm going to be doing a promo, and entering is part of it. There's a couple other things, and you can go on to my Instagram or my Facebook to find out all the details, but I'm going to be doing a giveaway to be my guest at this super awesome cigar Christmas dinner party extravaganza that's here in Southern California. And it's a great event that's hosted by Cigars by Chivas in Pasadena, California. Great event. So this event is, I think it's the 15th or 16th year that he's done this great, amazing event. I went for the first time barely, and I'm kicking myself in the butt because I've been invited. Again, Cigars by Chivas, great friend, Anto, he owns the lounge. He's been there. He's had the lounge for, I think, 24 years, so almost 25. And just a really cool spot. Amazing humidor. He carries high-end cigars, so you're not going to find, I don't want to speak ill of any other brands, but you're going to find your higher end cigars there. Okay, that's all I'll say. But really nice selection, in his humidor. He has again, top-notch selection. But aside from that, it's just it's a fun spot to go. Anto's always there. Every time I've ever popped in, he's there. And not only is he there, but he's always there in a suit. He's like a very classy guy. You'll see all walks of life come through there, including, not to do the whole name dropping things, but including several Hollywood type of people, like different celebrities pop in there, cigar smoking people that are with Hollywood, athletes, things like that. Because again, Pasadena, prime location. If you're not in California, Pasadena's like LA area, so a lot of major, athletes and again, actors, things like that, go in there, not have just come in there, but actually go in there on a regular basis. So it's just a cool spot to hang out at. But anyways, so he puts on this incredible event every year in December. It's always the first Thursday of December. So this year it falls on December 5th. I'm going to be attending. And again, I'm going to be kind of doing, not a raffle, but just I'm going to be picking someone to be my guest and attend with me to this great event. So again, as I mentioned, I went last year, was completely blown away. He had invited me in previous years, and for whatever reason, on all of those occasions, I was either traveling or one of the times the fires were really close to my house, so I didn't want to leave. I was planning on going and I had to cancel on the last minute, but I did go last year, and it was just incredible location. The venue itself, when you walk in, you wouldn't know it from the outside, and I can't remember the name of the actual venue, but when you walk in, it's like you're in this, white crystal palace on the inside. It's beautiful, beautiful. To capture it on film or pictures doesn't do it justice. To see it in person, it's almost like it's sparkling. It's so just beautiful. The lights, the decor. It's a extravagant type of dinner, but just incredible. And it's hosted by Davidoff Cigars. So you get the cigars, when you get there, And throughout the night, you know, all you can drink, all you can eat, but not a buffet style. I'm talking like these incredible dishes that are brought to each table. And I mean, so much food. Like my eyes were bigger than my stomach, and everything they brought out, I was like, oh, that looks so good. But I literally could not eat anymore. So it wasn't one of those, because I've been to some of these dinners where they're super expensive and you go and they give you like a little tiny portion. And that's, to me, it's like, okay, well, that's great. This is not the case. There's so much food, and good food, mind you. Again, all you can drink, just the entertainment, the music, the dancing, there's just so much going on. It's like the coolest event that I've actually been to, and I've been to a lot of different cigar events. The difference with this particular event is that it's not an event that he's doing to try to grow it, like to make it become like this huge event or make it like a money maker type of a thing, because there's plenty of those out there. And again, not to knock those, because, you know, it's a business, but this particular event is not that type of event. So it's capped off at a certain amount. So for example, I just saw him, and I think he had like maybe 2 tables left, and that's it. And he's like, yeah, I'll be full by the end of the month. Like, there won't be any more tickets available. So to be able to attend is like a treat, because you can't just go in and buy it. I mean, you can when he first opens it, but it fills up so quick because the people that have been going year after year, they bring friends, they bring, you know, family members, and it's just so much fun. But that's not why he does that event. He does the event as like a thank you to all of the people that have been there supporting him in his shop, and, you know, friends, things like that. But also for newer people to say, hey, this is a lot of fun and what a cool event. I'm going to go down and, you know, come to the shop and, you know, build on that friendship, because it's a great event and just so much fun. You meet incredible people. I had, again, such a blast last time. I can't wait to go. And again, putting that invite out there for one lucky person that hopefully you'll have fun like I did attending the event as my guest of honor. But yeah, be sure, I rambled on again, be sure to check my Instagram at Cigar Vixen for the details on how you can enter to win that extra ticket that I have. So thanks so much for watching. And again, happy Sunday, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.